Good day, love. Oh, okay. So we are live on Instagram. YouTube, we are not. Let me see if I can. Um, oh, let's just go with that. Okay. Good day, loves. Welcome back to episode 103 of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. Today I am riding solo because soul I almost said solo. Because Soul has an early start to his workday today. Um, and we got to roll with the punches, okay? So I'm riding solo. We had a very eventful morning of getting the things in order for the lunches and things. But today, what we're talking about, because it is Move Day, it is Move in the Freedom Five. We have Be, Cleanse, Fuel, Move, and Shine. 5 daily habits that we do to get us closer to our health goals, whether it is reversing autoimmunity or it is, getting to a healthy weight that is sustainable, or it is something else. As working moms, right? This episode is going to be for you when it comes to movement because we're talking about 15-minute magic, okay? 15 minutes or less to, and different ideas that you can utilize to have some more fun in your workout routines, to have some more variety, and also to quell that feeling of like, oh man, I wish I was spending more time with my kids, but how am I supposed to do that when I need to also tend to myself and my health goals? Well, hey, look, this is an opportunity for us to frolic and play and really come from the space. What you need, sweetie. Come from the space of your thrive zone. Your thrive zone. A thrive zone is where we bring together the three worlds: what you would love to do, what you need to do, and what your spirit is ready for, what it's calling you to do now. Okay. So, whenever we're going through these different ideas, jot down some that resonate with you. Save this video, share this video out with somebody that just needs some inspiration because it is going to be helpful for all of us. Okay. I was pleasantly surprised when I was trying to think through some ideas, and I partnered. I'm trying to go back to sleep. That's okay. I partnered with a little bit of help with from Chet of the GPT, Chet of the GPT, to just give me some ideas. But these are going to be some that you can take on the. Oh me, hey love, we got you the package. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna hear some baby cooing in this one. It's what it is because real life. But yes, these are time flexible. They are great for if you want to spend quality time with your kids, or if you need just like a break at work and you can slip off, put up the little church finger and go to the bathroom, and really just walk around the office or whatever you need to do. Uh, these are cool because they're bite sized and you can just slip them in whenever you get a spare moment in your day. So, yeah, okay. If you are ready, we're going to just take a quick look at some of the magic, okay? Because what we're talking about today is dealing with low impact movement, right? So, especially if you are looking to get your heart rate up, if you're in your power phases and you want to make sure that you're doing cardio, day say from day 1 to 10 of your cycle, or if you don't get your menses anymore, but you're still a woman, so you're still following a monthly cycle, but it's just different, right? So if you're in perimenopause, postmenopause, or you just have not been getting your cycle for whatever reason, your day one is the new moon. Okay, okay. So going from day 1 to day 10, that's power phase number 1. We focus on cardio. From day 11 to 15 of your cycle, we shift gears, focusing on strength training. And that is because testosterone is in there, and we need to activate the testosterone to activate that motivation, that drive, that let's do this type energy. And then days 16 to 19 is when we're back into another power phase for a little bit. This is after ovulation. If you are ovulating, you just follow when you're ovulating. When that stops, that is the second power phase. Before ovulation, that's the first power phase. Does that make sense? Okay. So, power phases, always think cardio. And I want you to think about high intensity coming up and down in levels, utilizing your levels, because that's going to engage your heart and really help with heart health. Okay. And getting those detox pathways open every time that you sweat. You're opening your detox pathway so that you can release waste. You can release the toxins from out your body that are blocking your health goals. And any excess sugar can be broken down, used as energy. It is just a phenomenal place to be, okay? Even if that means you got to sit yourself in the sauna to sweat. Do what you got to do, okay? And the last phase of the cycle is the nurture phase from day 20 to when your cycle starts again, or the next new moon. And day 20 to, we'll say about day 30, day 20 to 32-ish, whatever. That is when we need to focus on recovery. Okay. We need to focus on nourishment, walking, yoga, stuff like that. And these ideas that I'm going to share with you, they're going to have a little bit of a fun factor, because if it's not fun, we really don't want to do it, right? They're going to have, they're all going to be with low impact options. So that means that it's going to be easier on the joints. But that don't mean you're not going to be sweating, okay? But the point is, because as we age, we have lower levels of estrogen. And what that means is our joints aren't as protected, and it's a little harder. There's not as much lubrication in the joints on its own. So we got to have stuff like sea moss in order to help with that, blah, 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 yada, yada, bing, bang. But we can also be more intentional with our movements so that we don't injure ourselves by accident. Okay. So, workout ideas. And if you have some ideas, drop your favorites in the chat or the comments so that we can all share in it together. Okay, so here's some ideas for the 3 big categories. We have high intensity cardio, we have strength training, and then we have recovery. So low impact for high intensity cardio. One of the sweet peas. What's up? You want to come out to carry you a moment? New bounce. Okay, let's think about low impact dance parties, right? So there is an opportunity that we have. We can incorporate it, especially if you love dance, whether it's belly dance or it is African dance or it's hip hop, freestyle, or you're just dancing when you at the dance party. Okay. This is an opportunity to have a little bit of fun, because you can incorporate a simple little dance routine. You can involve your kids. You can put on your favorite playlist, and it can really be a way to lift the mood, to get that heart rate up so that you're opening those detox pathways through sweat. And you can like incorporate some little remixes in there to where if you are there with kids, you can have a moment where the music stops and everyone freezes, catches their breath, taps into like a deep breathing, and then you jump right back in. And that can be kind of like an element of surprise where you're involving different songs, different tempos, and you just for 10 minutes, maybe 2 songs, maybe 3 songs if you want to be fancy, just go through that type of thing where you're going hard for like, a minute, and then you like have a little prompt that goes with it. Okay, all right. Let me see. Let me pull up my list of things. Okay, some other ideas for cardio. If you like kickboxing and shadow boxing, some ideas were to follow a kickboxing video or make your own little sequence with, knee raises, blocks and punches to the rhythm of music, right? So you can. You can dance to the rhythm of music and shadow box. You can also use your baby as a little body weight if you have a newborn, right, or an infant. You can carry them as you're moving and working out. Help them go to sleep. Maybe not kickboxing, but maybe something like a nature walk. If you are near home or you are at the office and you can walk around the block, maybe just going outside and moving with your baby, that could be an option. Okay. And with this, you could really like alternate between like different moves, like have a dance break if you're listening to a song in the middle of a walk, and then just keep going. Or if you're at the office, just walking around. But in that one little hallway where you don't see nobody coming and can't nobody see you, you have your little dance break, and then you keep going. These little moments just to be silly. Okay, so let's talk about some ideas when it comes to strength training. Mhm. So, here's some kid friendly things, right? There are uh, things like you can do chair squats, chair squats with a twist. So if you have a chair handy, then you can just use it as support if you would like to. Kids can use it as support. They can use a stool, something that's more height friendly to them. And basically, you're dropping down into squat, sitting back almost like you would into a chair, just having the chair in front of you where you're holding the arms. And you can twist at the top and like literally twist your torso, alternating sides at the top, and just have a competition of how many squats you can do in a 30-second or a 60-second interval. And then just kind of like cheer each other on throughout it, right? So if you have an accountability buddy, that's cool. If you have your kids, that's cool. If not, one of the things that I love to do is follow along to a video because it helps me feel more into it. But if you don't have that, then you can always just take a moment, take a break, 5 minutes, go outside and just get into some movement, right? Another idea, which is more so pretty cool for winding down, would be step up story time. So if you have stairs in your home, or if you don't have stairs and you have like a little platform, it could be like a little mini stool or something. It could be something where you practice stepping up onto a low stepping back down while you sing a song together or you tell a story. to your kid, encouraging them to step along with you. You can hold the book and you can walk together. Walking also brings down the stress levels in our body and helps us break down the stress hormone called cortisol. So that could be a cool little thing that you do. And yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. Strength training, though, because that was low key more cardio. I don't know why ChatGPT gave that for strength training. But let's see, plank builders. Okay, start in a high plank. So that's like your hands are on the floor, your feet are extended back behind you, kind of like you're getting ready for a push up, but you're pushed all the way up into a plank. Okay, if you need to have a modification, bring them knees down, honey. Okay, if you feeling solid and good to go, just go ahead and keep them lifted. So start in a high plank, lower to your forearms, and then come back into a high plank. So it's kind of like you're alternating up, up, down, down. Okay. Um, Sleepy girl. Y'all send some love to Omi because she's sleepy. Okay. And one of the things is you can make it spicy. Okay. And how we make it spicy is by rolling with the punches. But another way you can make this a little bit more interesting is you can incorporate an element of drawing or creating art. So on one end, say you're doing this with a kid, right? And y'all can compete in, or not really compete, but just have some fun making something. So you could have like markers, or you could have like something that's not a whole lot of mess. So it could be like colored pencils or markers, right? And a piece of paper or something that is right in front of you. And between the up, up, down, downs, y'all could like during your breaks, like let's say that you're doing an interval of going for 30 seconds and pausing for 20 seconds, or going for a minute and pausing for 30 seconds. In those 30-second breaks where you're not just going up, up, down, down, you can literally like set a theme or an intention for what you want to create together, and then create a piece of art. And of course, there's going to be time constraints. It's going to be silly because you're doing something else altogether. So it's going to look a little crazy, but it could be really fun. All right. So creating some art together where each of you add something to it. And at the end, you have a picture and you can put it up on that fridge if you want to. So that's an option. There's also circuits that you can do with things like dumbbells or resistance bands. Let's say that you have like some free weights, maybe it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or you have access to a gym, then you can, lift heavier. But you can alternate between different movements, like some stuff that activates in the arms, maybe bicep curl, where you're bringing the weight or using a resistance band and just really engaging the muscles, engaging the core, remembering that alignment, and alternating through movements in a circuit. So a circuit is kind of like we do a set series of movements. Okay, we're gonna wrap up the episode. Okay, let's bounce in the meantime. Okay, love, I know you're sleepy. You get that daytime nap. So alternating through, you could try reverse lunges. You can try squats, lateral steps, moving side to side, or ice skaters, things like that. But really engaging in the thigh muscles, those quads, could be helpful for building strength and utilizing that resistance in the form of a weight, or you can utilize um, some inspiration from a video. Like there's Group Hit on YouTube that has strength training workouts, cardio workouts, and there's also the Fit On app, which is really helpful. But body weight circuits work too. Maybe you can alternate between chair squats or um, seated tricep dips, whatever works. But just when you put on that timer, and you're like, okay, ready, go, here we go, let's hit it. It can become a fun game with kids. Okay. So that's what that is. And you can have your kids help you count the reps when you're doing it, like they can coach you. All right. So that is strength training. And then with recovery, I really love kinetic yoga because it's something where, I mean, you don't have to do this whole drawn out sequence. You can just focus in on four main types of movement. And that would be a forward bending. So you're coming forward, whether it's a forward fold or some sort of forward movement where you're folding your body forward, a backward bending movement, and then a twisting movement. So both sides, engaging both sides. So those are the four. And with kinetic yoga, when we're talking about recovery, especially in the nurture phase of any given month cycle, it's important to utilize nurturing movements. Like you can get into child's pose, little cat cow to uh, engage the spine, really focusing on mobility and restoration in the body. So seated spinal twists are great too. Pyramid pose is great for acting, loosening up those hamstrings, and just little stretches like getting the neck stretches and things. Maybe you put on some calming meditation music or a guided meditation that you're following along to in your mind as you're moving. But this is a good time to really get into the slow moving um, and or just tapping into your body and noticing what's going on, right? So here's some ideas for recovery from ChatGPT, and we'll see how they do. Okay, it says nature walk and stretch stops. So I don't know how fancy dancy that is, but it doesn't have to be fancy, right? So walk outside and pause every few minutes for stretches like forward fold, side bends, and tree pose, which is a yoga reference. Pretend to become a tree with your kids. Okay, that could be cool. Sun salutation flow, do a slow sun salutation sequence, which is also a yoga reference, focusing on the breath. Add creative names for each pose to engage the kids, like big back stretch or big cat stretch or sleepy dog or whatever. That could be okay. Butterfly breathing stretch. Sit with feet together. Gently flap your knees. Flap your knees. Like a butterfly, like butterfly wings, breathing deeply. And pretend to fly somewhere fun. Okay, ChatGPT got a little wild with that one. We don't need to flap our knees and try to fly somewhere, but that could be a funny moment one time. Okay. Um, but what it's talking about is really getting into the stretches, yoga, walking, hiking even might be one of the ideas I think I saw. Um, yeah, spinal twists, hamstrings, deep belly breathing exercises, um, partner stretch play. Interesting. Sit back to back with your child or partner and do gentle twists and forward bends using each other for support. That could be funny and pretty nice, just calming and relaxing. Um, so, okay, there's a balance and breathe game idea. Placing on one foot, uh, practice balancing on one foot in a playful competition with your kids. Alternate feet and add arm stretches for dynamic recovery. So, really engaging into the side body, noticing how you're feeling in your hips. I love intuitive movement. So, if you have ever had a love for dance, then you know that sometimes it just feels good just to kind of move how your body's calling you to, and let that be what it is, and how good it can feel. It's kind of like you're reaching into those nooks and crannies and those crunchy spots of your body, like crunchy like Doritos, not good. But you're allowing for yourself to process whatever feelings, whatever sensations are in your body, and move through it, and that can be really powerful. There is also a ball roll mobility thing. So it sounds like if you have a small ball, or and it could be one of those stress balls, right? Like at the office, use a small ball for rolling under your feet, calves, or back to release tension. You can also use a foam roller if you have one of those. Kids can have the ball to roll too. Okay. And then legs up a wall. Okay, inversion, I see you. Will help to bring the blood into um, the rest of your body. So sometimes inversions are really cool for especially womb health, right? So legs up a wall relaxation. Lie on the floor with your legs up against the wall to relieve tension. Kids can lie beside you and try to draw shapes with their feet. Aw, okay, what can we make? What can we make? This is a cool little list that had some surprising things that I wasn't quite expecting from ChatGPT. Like when it's talking about strength training, one of the options is a towel tug of war row. Not sure what that is going to be, but it says, use a towel for resistance, sit on the floor, and alternate pulling your partner or your kid, strengthening your back and arms. And of course, engaging your core throughout it so that you do protect your back, right? Okay. And then wall sits with a view. Do a wall sit and pretend to be holding up the house. Kids can draw and read a story while you hold the position, or they can join you in a wall sit, and you can like level up, depending on how old they are. Let's see. Or if you're carrying your baby, you can do the wall sit, and that baby is low key a weight, low key a whole weight that you are carrying. Superhero core lifts. Okay, some abs. Lie on your back and arms extended overhead. Lift arms and legs together like you're flying. Kids can kids can pretend to be superheroes alongside you. And some of these, I don't honestly, if you want to get the most bang from your buck, you might even try picking up like maybe three different ideas, since most of these ideas are just like one move, and make it a game of it. It's kind of like a um, we're gonna be cycling through these movements. So a good time interval for protecting the joints that is also challenging is 60 seconds on, so 60 seconds doing the exercise, and 30 seconds off. So, or you could do 30 seconds on and 60 seconds off. So, 30 seconds straight of doing whatever exercise, give it your all, and then you pause to breathe, to do something more restorative. So, more of a recovery movement for the other time interval. If you were on for 30 seconds, off for 60 seconds. If you were on for 60 seconds, off for 30 seconds, and kind of playing around with that. That way, you're still getting the heart rate up, you're still moving through it. But if you're in your power phase, you can alternate between some of the cardio options. If you're in the manifest phase, you can alternate between some of the strength building options, like the planks, or even you can try deadlifts, the tug of war. You just choosing a few, or even like a shopping bag farm walks where you gotta like, one of the ideas says carry small filled bags or dumbbells and walk around the house pretending to be on a grocery store mission, while engaging your core and grip strength. Or like a push-up party, doing modified push-ups on the knees or against the wall, and clapping or tapping the shoulder every time, for like a little mode of encouragement and things. The And then, of course, when you get to your nurture phase, you can alternate through or just pick one, whatever works for you. Depending on if you have 5 minutes, you just do one. If you have 15 minutes, if you don't know what you got, then pick three and we'll see how many we can do, right? I think that this could be really cool and a cool way to change up your typical of what you're doing, and still be able to incorporate your family, right? So, how do we make this work, right? If you are a busy mom, you're working, you might have a desk job, and you get home and you got to still make dinner, you got to still do all this stuff and care for your kids, help them out with homework, and if they're doing homework, if they're at that age, and just really tend to, your relationships, your marriage, whatever, all the things. And then you still have to catch up with work and all this stuff. So how do we make this work? One big thing that you can do is you can set a little plan. You can schedule workouts, like appointments, where maybe 3 times a week you have this time carved out, and this is what you're doing. If you go somewhere for work, make lunchtime that time. That could be really good, where after you eat, then you go ahead and do your workout, or you do your workout and then you eat, whichever works for you. And that's kind of like the timing that works best for you, so that you're not, feeling pulled away from a workout by your kids, if you need to just focus in and do like a more intense workout. Um, and of course, letting go of perfection, remembering that progress is the name of the game is adaptability. Okay, it's flexibility, because every day is different. Every day is really, unpredictable sometimes. So you can go the planning and adapting route, or you can, or and multitasking. So habit stacking. If you're washing dishes, get some squats in. If you are in between chopping veggies, engage that core, and maybe you do some, up against, like on an incline, leaning against a counter, some push-ups. You can incorporate it into family time. It doesn't have to be incorporated into chores. You can combine workouts with family time, to where everyone, hey, we're going for a walk, or um, let's make it into playtime, kind of like how some of these examples were giving an example of how it could also be playtime with your kids. And then, of course, just remember that doing something is better than nothing. So even if you just walked every day, I mean, you're lowering your stress levels and making it easier for you to actually maintain and get to a healthy weight, and also keep those detox pathways open so that you can reach your health goals and reverse an autoimmune condition, even if that autoimmune condition is obesity and that's all it is, right? Consistency is key. So consistency matters over intensity. form over speed every time. And just remember that you got this. So gift yourself with that movement, with that reminder that you can do this, and that by you getting up and being the example, your family will start to, peek their head in and even join in eventually. So if this was helpful for you, please let me know in the comments. If you got some ideas between real life moments of Omi uh, being like letting me know that she's tired, then let me know in the comments and share this with someone that you love. Share an idea from it with someone that you love. Have a conversation with a friend. And of course, notify yourself whenever we go live next. And we will see you in the next episode tomorrow on Friday for Shine Day, where we will get into sharing honest, insightful, and nourishing expressions with your friends, family, and community. So take good care, loves. I will see you next time. In the meantime, between time, send yourself some unconditional love. I'll talk to you later. Peace.